Hello, everyone. We are back for the 2025 DevSecOps Poland chapter. First, I know that few of you are online right now, so please let me know if you can hear me well and see me well on the chat, please. Just one of you, so I know that you can hear me and see me well. Please, just one or two messages on the chat. I'll be more than happy just to make sure there will be no recording without voice, for example. But I'm pretty sure everything is all right. Just please let me know. I know that there are a few people online live with us, and I'm really happy for that. I really appreciate that. Okay, Grzegorz, it is okay. Awesome. Guys, once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Okay, one more. All good. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. DevSecOps Poland chapter is part of the DevSecOps group from Sneak. Uh, It's a pleasure to me to be lead of the DevSecOps Poland chapter for more than 3 years now, 4 years now. We have a couple of videos or meetups that happened in the past. This year we're just starting. A lot going on my personal life and on my private life, so it's pretty hard to keep this going. But anyway, at least monthly or at least every 2 months, we will be handling or be having some meetup either in person here in Krakow, either online or maybe hybrid. Let's see how it's going to be, but that's the plan for 2025. Okay, monthly, at least every 2 months, there will be something. Okay, either me as a presenter myself, either some guests, you on the audience. If you have something to share, please, you are more than welcome to submit your talk proposition, and then we'll discuss the topics. Okay. Cool, more people joining online, so we have more audience, which is very nice. Even either way, you are live here with me or gonna see this recorded after. Don't miss on the DevSecOps Sneak channel on the YouTube, as well on my private YouTube channel. That will be there as well, the same recording, just reference to the original video on the Cássio Batista Pereira YouTube channel. Okay, that's my personal YouTube channel. Anyway, that's the whole plan of DevSecOps Poland chapter. And also, I want to invite you to join our Discord, because we have a Discord where all the speakers, all the other chapter leaders, we are there trying to communicate, trying to engage with the community. So please join the Discord channel as well from the DevSecOps. And I'm pretty sure that you'll find a partner, you'll find a friend, you'll find someone that will help you with your problem, or you will be helping others with the knowledge that you have to share as well. Okay. No more talk. Let's go to the what is important today. Today we came here to talk about the importance of threat modeling. I really love this topic, even though I know it's not the most loved topic for the developers or for other teams outside of the cybersecurity world, let's say. But I really love threat modeling, and I will present something. I have a very long presentation, but I'll cut it so it will fit maybe in half an hour, just to discuss about threat modeling. Okay, and this presentation, I'm really proud of that, because I also wrote a book about it, and it's available online, so you can just drop me a message on LinkedIn or whatever. So then I can you send me your email, so then I can send you the book for free, no marketing, anything. You have access to the book without any problems. Okay, it's a very nice book written in English. Anyway, I think you can handle that. Before I show the presentation screen, I want to put here the link. So here on the screen, you have the link of this presentation, which is live. So you can just share after, follow up the slides as well. So feel free for that. Because on this presentation, we have some videos there, some YouTube videos that I'm not sure if I can reproduce them here on this YouTube channel, because there will be some restrictions because of licensing and all those things, copyright and so on. So then I'll talk about the videos, but I'll not present them. Okay. Anyway, you can watch those videos directly from my link here down on the screen. Okay. It's cassiodeveloper.com.br, then /appsec-Ironman. Okay. That will be the whole presentation. Please feel free to share as well with your friends. Okay. Without any further bullshit talk, let's talk to what is important. So the idea here with this presentation, I created the whole application security field using the Iron Man movies, Avengers movie, and so on. I really love this presentation, but today we'll be talking about only threat modeling. Okay, so you'll see that there are more topics there, but we will cover only the threat modeling part. Okay, that's the whole idea or purpose of today. So I am Cássio Pereira. Besides being DevSecOn Poland leader on the meetup and the presentations, I also do organize, and I'm a founder and coordinator of the B-Sides Krakow. So if you are based here in Poland, I mean anywhere you are based, you can come anyway. But if you are here, it's easier. I do run the B-Sides Krakow. It will be on September. So if you go to bsideskrakow.pl, you have more details on the conference for free. Okay, that's most important point. It's for free, so please join us at B-Sides Krakow. Also, as I said, I'm from Brazil, basically, but I'm based in Poland for 4 years now. So I live here for 4 years in Krakow. Okay. Also, I have some experience, more than 2 decades working as a developer, teacher, cybersec so far. Among other skills, that's my focus point, I would say. Okay. Also, some of the projects that I like to share with the community. So besides Krakow is one of them. I have my YouTube channel full of content there as well, either in Portuguese or in English. Also the DevSecOps podcast, also a very nice podcast full of content. Now we are on the 6th season already, more than 150 episodes, also Portuguese and English, and the DevSecOps Poland chapter. Here we are. Okay, done with the bullshit. Let's go to the important thing again. So agenda is only threat modeling. Okay, we will not be covering threat DevSecOps, vulnerability management, application monitoring, or application security program. We will be covering only threat modeling on this presentation. Okay, because there is no time, and I really want to focus on one specific topic. So that's what we will be talking today. Threat modeling. That's the topic of today. Okay. Cool. And how Iron Man or Tony Stark, I will refer to him as Iron Man or Tony Stark. It's the same, okay? It doesn't matter. So how Tony Stark or Iron Man helps us to learn about threat modeling. I think when we think about threat modeling, we can consider of what I like to say, it's the art of finding problems before the software even exists, right? I put this last sentence here. It's the art of finding problems before the software even exists. Why? Because if we think about the raw material of a software, it's the functional requirements, right? So you have a list of functional requirements. Based on these requirements, they will be transformed, let's say, into code, and then from that code, it will be a software that will be up and running and serving a purpose. But that code will only exist based on requirements. I need a login page. I need a user data management, client data management. I need to do this, and that. So based on these ideas or needs for a business, that will be translated into requirements, functional requirements, that will finally be translated into code. That's where the software get live, right? That get live, let's say. So if we have this list of functional requirements or list of ideas of functionality that this software will have, we can already do a threat modeling there. If I say to you, like, guys, I need you to code for me, to develop for me a login page, email, password, a button of send a request and submit. That's a login page, right? And that's something that the developer will read and say, okay, a login page. So I need a front end. I need a form with 2 fields, the email and password, and a button to confirm there to send out that request. Then the backend, this will process. If this email or user and password are valid, it goes to the following flow. If not, I'll send a message that login or password is wrong. That's pretty easy, right? But if I tell you, like, as a security engineer, that there are a lot of threats together with this login page, such as brute force attacks, such as lack of encryption attacks, such as spoofing attacks, tampering attacks, a lot of things I can name here that this login page is not contemplating, that these requirements are not there they're not designed to protect the application itself. So as a security engineer, I should read these requirements like, okay, this is a login page, these 2 fields and the button. As a security, I could say, like, let's put a CAPTCHA to avoid brute force attacks or crawling on the page. Let's encrypt the user and password using the algorithm XZY, because this algorithm will protect this information because it's sensitive information. Let's also create logs for every logging attempt, because we want to know how many logins success we have, how many failure we have. Let's also maybe add some input validation. We want to make sure that the email is an email and the password is a proper password and not a SQL injection or a specific OS command that will try to implement to bypass the mechanism of the application. So you see, just by having a functional requirement list, it's possible to create ideas of possibilities that what can go wrong. And Tony Stark did that on the first movie. If you remember, oh, sorry, if you remember, in Iron Man 1, he was kidnapped, he was on a cave, and he needed to escape, right? US government was looking for him, searching for him, but couldn't find him. And then he decided, okay, I need to do something and I need to leave this place. Otherwise, I will die here, right? And then he did the best what he could, what the material that he had. Remember good that he was in a cave with terrorists. So his main threat was Iron Man's, nothing else. No Thanos, no Captain America who was fighting on Civil War, no aliens, no other thing. Just men with guns. So he thought, maybe I can handle this. Because his goals were to escape the cave and go as far as possible. And of course, not dying during this process, right? He wanted to take no damage, but he wanted to escape, right? So the idea here is like, okay, I can build something, I can do something that will be enough for those threats that I identified. Which means this first Iron Man suit would not never be enough to defeat Thanos or to fight with Captain America later or to fight other battles that we would have. But for that specific moment, it was enough. And that's what I want to mention here, guys. With the material that he had, he did the best that he could, and that was the Mark One, right? The first suit that he created. And I like to say that done is better than perfect. Usually, developers want to do the best refactoring, use the best frameworks, the best solutions, and everything to create a simple retrieve and put information on the software. Like sometimes you need to do basic stuff. The basic well done is perfect because sometimes we want to increment and put a lot of things that will just introduce complexity to the software or to the process that will actually lead to more risk, right? So imagine if Iron Man was like, but this suit must be nanotechnology, but this suit need to be, I don't know, space proof, so I can fly on this place. This suit must be on a how to say, suitcase, so I can move everywhere. As he will create those suits further on the movies. But no, for that moment, that was not necessary. For that moment, it was necessary something to be bulletproof because his mainly threat was Iron Man, that he could fly and go as far as possible, and right escape. That was his main goal. And this our software today, how they are handling the simple attacks. Are we even thinking about the threats that we might have? Are we even thinking about the threats that we might have? That's the reflection I would like to give for you today. Okay. And threat modeling, it's one of the ways that we can achieve that, right? Tony Stark doesn't show us that he did the threat modeling process, but it's implicit that he did, right? Otherwise, he would not build that suit if he knew that those guys outside would defeat him easily. He was conscious that, okay, with this, I can be stronger than them enough to leave or to escape. That is the mindset here, okay? And threat modeling, I like to say, use it or do it where you have significant security risk. It doesn't make sense to create threat modeling diagrams, spend hours, days doing threat modeling for a software that you don't even have risk at all. I mean, all the softwares are at risk somehow, but doesn't mean for your business it might be a risk. I don't know. You have a telephone number list that is publicly exposed. Let's say personal telephones or just office phone numbers. That's fine, right? If it leaks, this database is deleted, you might have a backup and so on, but that's fine, right? If you compare this to sensitive information from your customers, from your employees, for payment data, that would be much more risky. So sometimes we want to put a lot of protection on something that doesn't need protection, right? So apply or do threat modeling where there are significant security risk. Okay. Also, threat modeling can be applied at a component, application, or system level. And by that I mean, uh, try to be, as I recommend here at the end, try to be more granular possible. Try to work on a functionality level. Okay, I have a login page. Okay, I have this send email functionality. I have this delete payment or send payment or approve something functionality. Do the threat modeling on that specific functionality. Then you're gonna have the whole system in the end of the day. Because it doesn't make sense to make a threat modeling for the whole architecture of the system. It will spend a lot of time. It will take a lot of time, not only for the security team, but also from the development architecture team, that you might not achieve what you need. Because when you go to a diagram of the application, those huge diagrams full of components, calls here, and there, you don't even understand anything. Imagine a threat model. You want to identify threats in the system. So it's nonsense to something that you cannot understand even, right? So if you, okay, this is the functionality that I have, I would understand the threats that this functionality might have. And based on this, then you create the security mitigations. Okay, that's the whole point here. So that's why threat modeling is important, right? If you remember good, on Avengers 2, Avengers 2nd, Age of Ultron, this scene, Tony Stark with Veronica, or the Hulkbuster, he's fighting against Hulk because Hulk got uncontrolled and so on. So they needed to create something. And so far on the whole MCU, Hulk had nothing to defeat him. He was the strongest. He was the best. He could lose control and destroy the whole city, right? The whole country, even with time. And then Tony Stark, together with Bruce Banner, they talk like, together we created Veronica. And this dialogue is mentioned on the movies. Like, they worked together to create Veronica. So imagine Tony Stark, the defender, together with the hacker, the attacker, which was Bruce Banner. They discussed the best solution when Hulk would be there without control. So let's create a machine that it is strong enough, that has capabilities to fly. If you remember, he has some poisoning capabilities to try to make Hulk sleep. He has a trap to catch Hulk's hand. He has a cage to try to imprison Hulk. And none of this almost worked, right? In the end of this battle, Tony Stark made to handle it, but almost lose. Imagine this whole suit, Veronica or Hulkbuster, it was designed accordingly with Bruce Banner to contain Hulk, and it almost didn't work. Imagine your softwares that were developed without any kind of security, without thinking about any possible threat. How do you think your software will behave when you will be under attack? Imagine that. Just make this question for you. And this is the best example of threat modeling. Everything on Veronica, it was designed for a specific feature, let's say, that Hulk had. Super strong superpower. Hulk can jump very far, so he could fly. He had the laser power. He had this kind of shield to protect from the punches of Hulk. It's amazing how this was built. And again, it was built, designed for a specific threat. And our software today, we don't even think about the possible threats. So when we will be attacked, the attack will be just successful. It's easy for them. We're making it easy for the hackers, okay? For the bad guys. Further on, I like to mention that part of threat modeling process is to understand problems that we might have already. So if we talk to the incident response team on our company, and like, guys, tell me, what is happening already? What kind of attacks we're suffering? What logs are showing us? And then based on this, we can learn already, like, okay, this is happening. We already have SQL injections. We already have, people trying to phish and scam our users. We are already facing some bots on our APIs or trying to crawl our applications. And how we are protecting from that? Oh, we are having this and this, that mitigation. We are putting wow application fire here. We're doing trainings for the users to avoid phishing. We are doing this kind of measure. And that should be the baseline already for any kind of new development of the company, because those problems are happening already, right? So talking to the incident response team, it will help you to be more effective on the way you are doing threat modeling. Because when you think about, I have a login page, what I should put here? Oh, a captcha would be enough. Fine. But then we not consider that people are trying to tamper with those data. Instead of email, they're putting a SQL injection there. And how are we going to block this? How are we going to protect from that? Right? So it's important to know things that might be happening, and for sure they are happening already, right? So talk to the incident response team is perfect, as Tony Stark shows us as well. On the Iron Man 3, he had a prototype suit, which is this one, Mark 42, if I'm not wrong, that he was a problem, he was attacked, and so on. And then he flew to Tennessee where it was snowing. It was winter there, right? And then his suit lost energy capacity and so on. He needed to open the suit and go out. But it was snowing, and he's just a human, right? He will feel cold and freezing as any other person. That's fine. He managed to handle. But further, when he created then the Spider-Man suit on Spider-Man Homecoming, now the Spider-Man suit had a heater built in within it. Also in his own suits as well, right? This doesn't show anymore, but he had a bug, he had a problem, and he improved in the future. Any kind of movie, if you watch all the movies from Iron Man 1 to the last one now, even on the Captain American Brave New World, you see those improvements everywhere. Tony Stark is not only improving itself, but he also managed his problems. He knows he had a problem with heating. So he thought, okay, I must have a heating. Because if I'm somewhere that I need to open the suit, I need a heating there. I'm just a human, right? So he introduced that for Spider-Man suit, and for sure in his suits as well. So in summary, the message that I want to bring here is the software the version of your software, like the 101, must be better than 100. And I mean better. Not only you are delivering new value, delivering new features and everything. No, it must be more safe as well. Even though you didn't have any problem, but you need to map them. You need to try to understand those problems, what they might be, what they should be. Because if you remember good, if I come here to the beginning, oh, threat modeling is a methodology to identify possible situations. It doesn't mean it's a vulnerability at all. You might not even have a software to discuss threat modeling, right? So it's a possibility of something goes wrong. If you don't even consider the possibility of something goes wrong on your software, it is already wrong. You must do this, okay? It's important. So not only fix bugs, you need to improve security, right? Tony Stark is showing this for us all the time. There is no security without the proper processes on your software development lifecycle. If you don't have a well documented, everybody knows on the company about that process, it will not work, because one team is doing one way, another team is doing another way, or another team not doing any way. So then it's problematic as well, right? So imagine any release that you are doing as a new Tony Stark or a new Iron Man suit. It must be better, because if you think good, Iron Man suit is not a attack weapon. Actually, it's a defense weapon. He need to protect his body because he's just a human, right? He need to protect his body in the first place. Then he thinks in attacking, right? First suit was exactly like this. He was in a cave. He needed to be bulletproof, able to fly somewhere, and shoot and he had a fire launcher, fire flame. I forgot this word in English, but he had this launch flyer, whatever. But he was first bulletproof. He was then able to fly. So it was a evasive defensive weapon, and then attacking weapon. Okay, so our software must be by nature a defensive weapon somehow. We need to protect ourselves. We are handling customer data. We are handling whatever data is there. But that's why the software exists. So we need to protect it by definition. Right? There's no negotiating with that. I cannot play the videos as I said, but if you remember in Iron Man 1, and this you can see on the presentation there, in Iron Man 1, he frees with the second suit when he's try to fly and so on. He's already back home and try to learn and try to improve the suits already. And he flew and he freeze. He managed to handle and so on, but the suit was basically shut off. End of the movie, when the villain is fighting with him, the villain has a version of the suit based on this flawless version, on this version with this freezing problem, right? And then Tony Stark already improved. So in the end of the movie, he's almost out of energy. He flew with the villain to the stratosphere, where they start freezing. But Tony Stark now has a new material in his suit, so he's not freezing anymore. And then the villain will freeze. He managed to have some advantage on this fight here. Okay, so I strongly suggest that you see that. So this is pretty clear that, okay, I had a bug, I see a problem that could kill me in this case, and then I improve right away. I need to fix that. It's my life at risk here. It's the same with our software, guys. Our software is handling data, information. It's not acceptable that we don't even consider the possibility of something go wrong. We must do. Okay. I really love this part here when a vulnerability become a feature, and I will even skip the text because I will explain anyway. But here on the left side, we have Iron Man 2 fighting with the Whiplash, a guy who managed to create the arc reactor, enough energy just like Tony Stark had, and he had these whips full of energy. Tony Stark managed to fight him and to win this battle, but he took, you can see his suit here, he took a lot of damage. A lot of damage, the suit was very damaged and so on. Fine. And on the right side, we have Avengers 1, where when he had the misunderstanding with Thor, and Thor threw on him a thunder. Now his suit was not only able to manage that damage, so he took still some damage, as you can see in the GIF here, but not that much as previously. But now he was able to absorb the energy of the thunder, because he had a problem. Like, okay, this villain, he was able to touch me with energy. What if I could do something about it? First, not take so much damage. Second, have some advantage on that energy. So he improved. Now his suit was able to absorb that energy. And then in the end, on the Avengers end game, his suit now, nanotech suit, was able to open on purpose. He was asking Thor to give the thunder power and so on, to throw a thunder on him. And then he was absorbing that whole power and transforming on a laser weapon and so on, to try to defeat the Thanos or the enemy, whatever. So what once was a problem, a bug, a very dangerous problem in this case, became a feature in the future. So guys, like, this is pure software development. We have a bug today, we improve tomorrow, we improve the day after, and then we'll be bulletproof one day. That's the point. That's a mindset that we must have. That's the mindset that we must have, bring to the development teams. There's no way of improving security without thinking about possibilities of things go wrong. And you see, so far I didn't talk about any threat modeling framework, any methodology, nothing. Just sit down with this functional requirements and discuss what can go wrong. That's the only one question you need to do. What can go wrong in this feature? What can go wrong? How could I hack myself? As a developer, you can ask this question, right? As a security, like, how I could hack this specific feature. And then, okay, I could do this, and that. How can I protect from this, and that, right? That's the whole point here. Also, in this scene, where this is in the Civil War, Captain America Civil War, where sorry, I forgot the name. Ant-Man. When Ant-Man got inside Iron Man's suit and he disables some capabilities and so on, Tony Stark is like desperate. He's talking to his AI like, Friday, what is happening, and so on and so forth. And then she managed to do something, but even though it was a threat, not that he didn't think before, that some very small man would get inside his suit and be able to disable everything there. He didn't think about this, and that's why he was desperate. You can watch this scene and you see his desperation on his face, right? And that's part of the cybersec team. We need to think on unthinkable things. We need to imagine the unimaginable things, because shit happens all the time, and we have all of them. Maybe not all of them, but we have a lot of them mapped. Attacks, possibility of attacks, ways of attacking, what can go wrong, and so on and so forth. So it's easy between quotes, like how to protect from those specific attacks, right? So we should listen to these guys. Of course, he fixed this problem with the nanotech suit and technology and so on. But that's the whole point, right? Also in Iron Man 3, when he created the Iron Legion, so basically he had one suit for each feature. Each suit here has a specific power or suit, whatever. But this will not be able to scale, right? For that moment was enough. If you rewatch Iron Man 3, but that doesn't scale, right? That would come to the DevSecOps part and all these things. But anyway, lessons learned, guys. Lessons learned all the time. Here on the left side, in the Civil War, Vision hit War Machine or Iron Patriot, and he lose his capacity to fly. Tony Stark tried to rescue him, but he didn't manage to. So he fell and he became paraplegic. He could not walk, etc. Because Tony Stark didn't have enough power to fly or speed fly, let's say, right? Flight speed. That's fine. But then in Infinite War, on the right side, he's chasing the spaceship here, who they're flying out of the Earth, and then he managed to have this boost or this turbo mode, whatever. Then he managed to catch the chip, right? So that's the point. Again, a bug, a vulnerability, improvement. It's pretty clear, guys. A bug, a vulnerability, improvement, or a bug, improvement, a vulnerability, a fix. Because he said, okay, I could not turbo my flight speed that time. I might need this again in the future. I needed already once. Why I'll not need the second time? So it's pretty obvious what the message that he passing to us. So in the software development, it's the same. If you talk to the incident response team, if you see the bugs that you might have already, this should be the baseline of the development. Like, okay, we already have Q&A team is finding problems when they are trying to fuzz the application. They're putting any data there, application is processing, getting errors, exceptions. Like, so it's a baseline that any input will be validated with a allow list, deny list, white list, block list, whatever. That must be validated, any kind of inputs, because we already have problems like this. Or even if we don't have problems like this, we don't want to have problems like this, right? And to go to the end of this discussion, threat model frameworks. There are a bunch of them. I believe most they are not by any order here, but I believe that the most popular one is Tried, right? Microsoft, I think they bought the rights or something like this. They even have a tool that applies Tried. But all these are frameworks that will help us to do threat modeling. Stride, for example, stands for spoofing, tampering, repudiation. I forgot the E. Denial of service, elevation of privilege, information disclosure. Sorry, information disclosure. So it's a set of attacks, set of threats that we should care about on our application. So once you create a diagram or use some tools, it will create the threats for you. Okay, service A is talking to service B. There is a tampering possibility here. How are we going to manage there? Oh, service B has input validation. Service B makes sure that request comes only from IP 1, 2, or 3, or this or that server, or this, that origin. So you are mitigating that possible threat. That's the whole idea. And you can do this based on the functional requirements. It's, of course, it will get to a level that you need the application architecture. Okay, it's going to be hosted on cloud. It will run with this or that technology, this structure. Okay, this will give you more insights on other threats and other mitigations as well. But only with the requirements, it's enough to do threat modeling. Okay? And the conclusion is imagine the unimaginable. Because the bad guys, on the other side, they had no limits. They have no limits. Once they want to decide that you are a target, they will manage to do it. Unless you make so difficult to them, so they will give up. Okay, I'll try to hack this application, but it takes too much of my time. I didn't succeed yet. I'll give up or go to another one. They usually they want to make money. Frauds, black market, and all these things. They want to make some money, right? Sometimes they want to put you down, shut your business, put you down, offline, and so on. But usually it's to make some frauds, to make money, steal data, and so on. So you need to make hard enough, because impossible, it's never impossible. You need to make hard enough for them to give up. Okay, that's the whole idea, or that would be the whole message that I want to tell you here today. Okay, so that was it about this presentation. I really appreciate your time. I will put here one more time the link of this presentation. Let me see. Okay, I have here. So here you have the link for this presentation. Please take a look again. It's full of other slides with other topics, but try to watch at least those movies that I mentioned. I don't want to play them here and have some YouTube problems, whatever. But that's the whole point. Threat modeling is about understanding the possibility of attacks, the possibilities of things that can go wrong. You can use one or two or all of those frameworks, but I would say start with the simple question, what can go wrong? What can go wrong with this feature? What can go wrong with this system? What can go wrong with this app? And based on answers of this, you come to your mind already the security mitigations that you should put in place. It's good to do that exercise with a cybersecurity engineer, whatever, next to you, because then he will provide those mitigations, right? But the threats itself, you can do yourself. That's threat modeling. And why is important threat modeling? Because we want secure software. And if we do threat modeling from the first day of software, and first day I mean not first line of code, but first day is like first moment of idea or need for a business functionality, and then we are building secure by design. This is the proper shift left, right? This is shift left. There's no more left than the raw material of a software, which is this functional requirement. Okay. I know that we have a few people online still. So, guys, please, any questions, any comments, anything that I could answer to you in the next maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then we will turn off. If you are seeing this recorded, feel free to drop any comments with questions as well. I'll try to answer all of them as soon as I can. But if you guys online want to drop some questions right now, since I am here, I would be more than happy to answer those to you. So just please let me know. And if not, okay, I'll give you some seconds to type your question. That's fine. So take it easy. But I hope you appreciated this. Either people that were watching online with us live, either you that will be watching this recorded after. It will be available on YouTube. So that was pretty nice. Again, I will put the link for this presentation here so you can see them again offline. Feel free to share with your friends. Feel free to just drop me a message with any questions after. That's not a big deal, not a problem. But I really appreciate if you could share this link with your friends and spread the knowledge. Okay, cool. I think no questions. Let me see in the comments here. Okay, live comments, nothing. Live chat, nothing. Okay, so if no questions, guys, thank you one more time for being here. If you are here from the beginning, if you just joined the middle, doesn't matter. Thank you for watching this. Again, DevSecOn Poland chapter, it will be monthly, either every 2 months. That's my plan. If you have a talk, if you have a topic that you want to discuss, or something that you would like to learn more that you don't want to share, but maybe from me, feel free to reach out and just ask, okay, Casper, I would like to talk about SAST. I would like to discuss about CI/CD. I would like to learn more about threat modeling, for example. I don't know. Just drop a message, and I'll be more than happy to provide a speaker, to find someone to talk about this, or even help you myself. But that was it. One more time again, thank you for joining us. See you next time.